It is just Lego, no glue, no metal strip running through it, it's just Lego and ingenuity. So I think the first thing we want to do is we want to get our pilot into the canopy hood. So we're going to open up the canopy hood, and you can come in if you want, you can have a good look inside. I'm going to spin around as well. Now, the great thing about an F-35 fighter jet, an interesting thing is how you don't have one control stick, they have two, one either side. These are indicated by the red control sticks in the canopy hood. Can everyone hear me okay, yeah? Cool. So hopefully you can all see as I spin around inside the canopy hoods. Okay, so I think our pilot's in now, so we're going to shut the canopy hood and we'll move on to our next function. Cool. So one of the most unique things about an F-35 fighter jet is it has the ability to vertically take off. There are two things that allow this to happen. The first thing is the hatch behind the hood opens up, it reveals a tertiary turbine. This is capable of operating over 3,300 RPM on a full battery pack. It needs to reach 2,000 RPM in order to become stable. The next thing that needs to happen for a vertical takeoff is that the engine at the rear needs to be able to move into a vertical position. So I'm now going to spin around and you'll notice that the engine has now been moved into a vertical position. Everyone see that? Cool? Okay, so we're now ready for vertical takeoff. So the next thing to do is actually wind up the turbine. Now we're going to start her at low RPM, about 500 RPM, and you'll notice that it's going to be quite unstable. When my pilot picks the right control unit, we'll go. So if you look closely, you'll see it's vibrating quite a lot, it's not very stable. It needs to reach 2,000 RPM. And the best way to explain this is if you ever spun a pound coin on the table, if you don't spin it fast enough, it's very wobbly. But if you spin it fast enough, it actually almost looks like a solid ball, because the centrifugal forces come into play, or angular momentum is technically a more accurate term for it, and then it actually becomes very stable. That's the gyroscope stabilization. We need to reach 2,000 RPM, so we're going to now wind the gears up. Can you hear it? Yeah. We're going to keep going. And you'll see her stabilize now. She's reached 2,000 RPM. If you look at her now, she's completely stable. Don't put your fingers near her. We did accidentally drop a piece of Lego once we're doing some testing, and it pinged off behind us. It didn't hit the wall, it actually went through the plasterboard. So 3,000 RPM, it will act as if you walk into a real jet engine. You won't come out in one piece, neither did the Lego or my wall apparently. So we're now going to wind this down, and my pilot's going to move the hatch back down again and put the engine back into a horizontal position because we're ready to fly. So whilst he's doing that, we'll be moving back onto the wings. I'll be showing you a few other bits about the wings. So if you haven't noticed, the wings actually curve. So not only the wings themselves on top like a real wing, but the actual side of the chassis actually curves like a wing as well. This is quite hard to do with Lego. The other thing you may notice is underneath, it's completely flat on the wings. This is again very accurate to a wing. So the way we generate lift is by forcing the air to go a longer distance over the top of the wing compared to underneath. That creates an air pressure difference, and this is what actually generates lift. Okay? So this is actually accurate to this. So Bradley's now going to demonstrate the wing flaps if you haven't seen them already. We've got a lot of responsive movement here, rudder control as well, very responsive. But we also don't want to do that all the time. As a pilot, we may want to do incremental movements. So we're actually going to show you the ability to incrementally change, do trim, and actually move things very gently. Can I move this side round? So you can see we actually have complete control over that. We're now going to go into, we're doing that, we're going up into a climb now. You see Bradley's got complete control over this as a pilot, as we should do. Interesting story, the reason I built this is the first plane I've ever built. My girlfriend actually works for United States Air Force. She got me onto one of her bases and I got to see one of these things up close. Very, 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 very cool. They got a bit upset though when I tried to take a measuring tape out. So yeah, I kind of heard the very much American, I don't think you want to do that, sir. Okay, I won't. So Google became my next best friend. So, moving on. So another great thing to move back the F-35s, they carry a lot of bombs and ordnance. And I'm building one, so I'm able to do everything it does. So what you might want to do is get your eyes down, because we're going to open the missile bomb bay doors. I'm also going to put a mirror underneath as well, because you might want to see the ordnance it carries underneath as well. I've really tried to be as accurate as I can be with all of this. to actually encourage everything. So what we're going to do, if you get your eyes down, and you're going to see the missile bomb windows open. So Bradley, when you're ready, please. Stop. Cool. And if you look at the mirrors underneath from an angle, you should actually see there's ICBMs there, there's missile deployment there. And this moves me on to my next phase. I actually need 2 volunteers to actually help me deploy the missiles. Okay, you two, you got it. Right, okay, so what I need is one of you, first of all, to come over here.
Yeah.
Okay, so, you see this point here?
Yeah.
So it's a manual depress, don't have to press it hard.
Okay.
Nice and gentle. I had this mistake with the previous show. So it just needs to get down to meet the same level as this, okay? And when I hit 1, when I say 1, so it'll be 3, 2, 1, you press it down.
Just push it down a bit?
Push it down a little bit. We'll let you know if you need to push a bit more. Okay. And then if you get your eyes down, you'll see the missile deploy underneath, okay? So, if everyone get their eyes down. 3, 2, 1. Awesome. Oh. And we even had something far out as well. So again, it is just Lego. For those of you who came to an earlier show, we actually had part of it come off, like from the top, because they pushed too hard. And it just shows there is no glue used in this thing. It is just Lego mechanics. You ready to do the next one? Okay, cool. So you're on the second side here. Okay. Actually, can you reach from over here? Because it might be a good angle from the other people over here to see. Can you reach that from over here? Okay, cool. So it's a gentle depress. It's just this bit here, and you're making it level with over here. Okay, all right. So that levels down about half a centimetre to a centimetre. So on 1, 3, 2, 1. Perfect. If somebody can pass me what's left of the rocket, thank you very much. For some reason, that was hard to satisfy, but these are actually really satisfying to build. I don't know why. I might have a warring instinct in me. Okay, so we're now going to raise the missile bomb bay doors back up again. So for those of you who build Lego, one of the hardest things to get right is actually getting everything to function the way that you would like it to. And that it can be a bit of fun sometimes, particularly when they stop. When we have the missile bay doors are a little bit funny. So, what we're going to do now is move on to one of my most favourite aspects. Does anyone know what a Gatling gun is?
Yeah.
For those of you who watch Terminator, it's very reminiscent. Can anyone describe to me what a Gatling gun is?
Gun is really fast. A gun with a couple of barrels.
Right, yeah. So the main difference between the Gatling gun is the actual barrel spin, rather than the ammunition being fired in. The ammunition's already there. It's the barrels that spin around and release ammunition as it goes round. Very, very fun. Very, very fast as well. And the F-35 comes in 1. I wanted 2, so I built 2. Why not? You know, building a weapon of destruction, why not make it armed? So the other great thing about an F-35, so normally you would never be able to see these barrels because they're hidden inside. So Lego allows us to actually open flaps up, so it allows you'll be able to see these things in operation. The other thing I wanted to do is I wanted to be able to hear them operate, and I wanted to be able to see sound and light so I know when I burst fire. Because there's 2 functions to this weapon. The guns need to get up to speed first, then you burst fire. So my pilot here is going to bring the guns up to speed. Don't touch them, they're 300 RPM, they will hurt you. Okay, and then we're going to, on my command, he will burst fire the guns. Okay, so please power up, and I'll do my best to. So these are the Gatling guns. Ready, and we're now going to burst fire. Bradley, you see the light and the sound coming out of the barrel. Just Lego. Not bad for Lego, is it? How cool is that? All right. Does everyone see over here? I'll come around the far side. Okay, power down. Cool, right, not bad. How cool is that for Lego, yeah? Right, so we're not finished yet. So one of the most visually impressive things to see is after we've done a mission, we need to come in for a landing. So the great thing to see is actually when all the undercarriage comes down, it's a very, very cool thing to see. So I just need to move around a little bit. I'm going to try and do multiple deployments with different angles. The best way to see this is either vertically, immediately to the side, or from the front or the back. But we'll try and do multiple deployments. You all right? Let them come out. Cool. Okay, so we'll do this angle first, and then I'll try and do 3 as we come round, so you get to different angles. Okay, so you might want to get your eyes down for this. It's a very, very nice thing, cool thing to see. Okay, Bradley, please deploy. Cool. And bring it back up again. Please deploy. Up again. Please deploy. And up again. Guys, thank you so much for your time. That completes our show. I hope you've been inspired to do something in Lego. Please follow, like us on YouTube and Instagram. We've got QR codes around.